CNBC piece about Lite apps are being deployed in other markets outside of the US. And it was like, you know, it's 25 times lighter, but has the same functionality. And that was what the Tinder guy, the CEO of Tinder said or in the article. And I'm thinking like, well, why do I need one that's got 25 times more crap in it? Is that simply to be part of this ecosystem where they continue to build these apps bigger and bigger, take up more space, take up more battery,
more data,
take up more processing, which means I got to go buy the iPhone 11,
yep,
because it can process these apps that are loaded up to the gill, and then I need 5G and I'll pay extra. Is it just,
and you need
really
iCloud
need functionality,
yep,
or is this
right? Yeah, you have to be able to store things in the cloud because you can't store them locally because there's
I mean, like, what's wrong with Lite apps? Maybe everybody wants Lite apps.
Well, we can pivot this to the SMB software space, which is this whole notion of, I'm sorry, maybe there's as good a time as any to mention the webinar I'm doing on the 27th with it sort of riffs. It's going to be based on the white paper I wrote last month. I think it was last month. All blends together, but it's about the engagement challenge. Where we talk about how, our data, our Modern Commerce Monitor data found that like 62% of small businesses say they don't really use all the features or even most of the features in the software that they're paying a monthly subscription for or an annual or whatever it is. So they're overpaying in a sense for the functionality that's being delivered to them. And which raises a big question about, are we just sort of falling in love with the technology we're creating instead of just creating just exactly what they need and will use? And are we sort of creating a churn problem as a result by sort of throwing too much complexity at small businesses? It's sort of the same point you're making about apps.
And it's like the cable bundle. I mean, they can justify a higher cost because you're getting 180 channels, but you need like 4 of those.
Yeah, I watched 2, maybe 3, which is why I dropped cable and I'm streaming now. And I may drop streaming and just like catch up on YouTube.
YouTube TV.
Yeah. But anyway,
so YouTube.
Yeah. But anyway, so the webinar is going to just talk about, this idea of how do you get engagement? How do you get small businesses to use the software? Because, I mean, the consumer problem you're identifying, it's the same, but it's also a little bit different because the behavior is different. But with small businesses, the real issue is time and the lack of it. And
I think in that space, look, putting those things all together, making them integrate, making it easy for them to use. I think at the end of the day, ease of use will trump functionality all the time.
Right.